everybody, to the Birdies and Bourbon Show. Dan, I don't know if I can make it through the whole show with these glasses on, with these shades, but by God, I might try. What about, speaking of, I'm going to be sipping on New Riff single barrel bourbon today because apparently we've got the new Phil in action, baby.
The new Phil.
The new Phil. I was going to go for coffee and I thought, that ain't going to fit. That ain't going to fit the scene. So congratulations to Phil Mickelson. Hey,
congratulations is indeed in order for Phil Mickelson. Holy cow. I mean, we were talking about him on the DraftKings show last week. We said, Phil, and the comment I think we had, I didn't go back and listen, but I'm just in memory, I think it was, well, he's been playing really good. So, I mean, I'm not going to count him out, but I would count him in. But he's been playing really good. He has. He was leading well after the first round, right? Yeah.
I think that the conversation, I'll paraphrase as best as my foggy memory will let me. I think it was, we talked about the pairing. We talked about the first round pairing and we said, we guesstimated that two out of the three were going to make the cut. So, we did not pick any of those guys to win the tournament. And, man, what a friggin' performance by that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Was Phil ever out? I said, we got the new Riff and the new Phil. I don't know. Was there ever a doubt that he was? I don't know that hey, here's what I do want to know. If you picked Phil to win the tournament, comments, DM us at birdies_bourbon on IG. We would like to know who you are because we'd like to invite you to our next DraftKings show because you're doing a hell of a lot better at picking than we are.
Yeah. I don't think a whole lot of people picked Phil. I was doing some research over the weekend, and I think some of these bookies only had a couple of bets on Phil to cover. So I don't think a whole lot of people picked him. No.
What a performance by that guy. I say a performance. I mean, the course, no doubt. So PB and I were messaging Sunday evening. And I said, hey, PB, what surprised you most about the tournament? I was expecting to get, holy shit, I can't believe Phil won. The course, I'm going to say it kind of played, depending on when you teed off, right? I mean, some guys were kind of scoring low, and some guys were definitely getting eaten up by the course. Maybe it was, hey, I can't believe that Koepka got punked by a 50-year-old. Let's see what else could have been there. Padraig Harrington, another not senior, but he's sneaking up on it. Comes in at T4. No, PB says what surprised him most about the Ocean Course at Kiowa on the PGA Championship was the gallery. Really? And after I thought about that, I'm like, well, shit, that's not bad. I mean, being that Phil almost gets tackled on the way to the 18th green, I'm kind of going like that something could have happened there. I mean, I don't know how that brought me back to, I think it was 2018 when Tiger won at Eastlake.
Yeah. And
they're coming down the 18th fairway to the green, and you just see the mob of people behind Tiger. I don't recall them being that close. I mean, Phil was like, it was like a mosh pit out there. Yeah. And I'm thinking, here this guy is. He's going to close the tournament. All he has to do is get up there, and what do you have to do? 2-putt? And he's got his 6th major, I believe.
6, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, 6th major. And going to be the oldest guy to win a major championship. And he's going to get tripped, and he's going to walk out of
I'm not sure if it's my internet or your internet. I'm not sure, but you're back now.
Definitely your internet. I'm getting applauded over here for this.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
I'm getting applauded. Well, nothing kills the radio like dead air.
Yeah.
No, but it's I thought it was fantastic. So here's the thing, and you were mentioned who were you saying? Somebody made a quote about or somebody made mention of the pairing on Sunday.
I saw it on Twitter. Kyle Porter from CBS said, if I were to tell you before the tournament started that the final pairing would be two people with the combined 9 majors, and neither one of them would be Rory or Spieth, what would you think? And there you go, right? It's like, holy cow! Nobody would have ever thought it was going to be Phil and Koepka. Koepka with the knee. We don't know how he was, and then nobody thought Phil was going to be there. But here we are, 9 majors going in, and it's not Spieth and Rory.
Well, I think you could have only came up with 2 other players to
Well, you get the point, though. You get the point.
No,
You'd say 8, say 6, whatever, right?
No,
Yeah,
I totally get it. But I mean, once you're at that high of a number, there's only a handful of players you could have paired, and Phil is one of the guys that would have had to have been in that equation to get to that number, right? So
definitely an unlikely pairing, though, for sure. Yeah.
So here's what I do want to know: how much coffee was Phil drinking the night before and the morning of? Because and I was messaging some of my golf buddies, they were all obviously giving it back. Oh, who you got? You got Phil or you got Lefty? Phil or Lefty? I'm like, well, I mean, not for nothing, but you got Oosthuizen. Who else was kind of coming up? Casey, he was kind of out of it. Abe Answer, I mean, even though he did shoot a 65 on Sunday, he was kind of out of it. So, I mean, you had a handful of folks there a very small handful that actually could have made a run for it. But I'm thinking, is Phil nervous? Because it was definitely going to be a mental test, and I think it proved that on Sunday, right? And after Phil bogeys the first hole, Brooks birdies it and takes the lead. First hole, right off Jump Street, right? So is Phil melting down or is Brooks melting down?
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw that and I saw the swing there and I saw Brooks take the lead, I said, could Brooks be off to the races? And this is just going to be a blowout, because it could have been.
Until he makes it to the second hole. and double bogeys, which so there was it was like a little boxing match there for a little while. Kind of all the way through, but I mean, it was it was just like punch for punch. And I won't say there were a lot of punches thrown. What they Phil plays at +1 on Sunday and Brooks plays at +2, so definitely wasn't a lot of it wasn't heavyweight punches being thrown, if you will, until. And I did see a change in Brooks's game. I don't know if he's hurt. I'm sure that's probably going to be the storyline or what what's going to be said. But after Phil chips in from that greenside bunker on number 5, I'm like, shit, this is it. I mean, it's no doubt. I mean, Phil, you want to talk about short game. As our friend Tom Patry says, short game, short game, short game. And, that's what got it done, right? I mean, it's he jars that one from the sand. And from that point on, every time I saw Brooks Koepka hit a ball, it just looked like he had given up, like he didn't want to be there. I mean, he was frustrated. It sounded like you when we start the show. It was like, and he was on there blowing. And I'm like, dude, you're on the 5th, you're on the 6th tee box and you're already blowing. You're already giving up. I don't know. I thought it was awesome. I'm glad that it worked out. I know a lot of people wanted to see Koepka come out and respond. You and I both talked about it on the show last week. Didn't know what the knee was going to do. Didn't know if the knee was going to hold up. Let's just say I didn't see any problem from a ball striking standpoint. Well, I didn't see any problem from a distance standpoint. I think the course was played. I think it played exactly. When we were talking with PB and he was talking about how his dad set the course up, his dad and mom set the course up, to play the prevailing winds, right? You playing them to the east, you playing them to the west. And I think we got all that. And I don't know, is this the lowest scoring tournament we've seen all year? I think so. It's 600.
Could be.
I think so. But I thought it was good, man. I was a little surprised by how many people were out there.
Hold on a second. The PB thing. So I did see DJ said on Tuesday that he was going to be hitting every club in his bag all week long. And that's exactly what PB said to us. He said his dad architected it. He said, I want them to use all the clubs in their bag. I want them to be strategic out here. I don't want them hitting the typical clubs. What was Brooks hitting all day? Was it like a 3-iron he's hitting all day or something like that?
It was some kind of a driving iron. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like a 3-iron, I think. Yeah.
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 And Phil had like a 2 metal out there. He had like a strong 3-wood or a lofted driver that he was hitting a lot. So
yeah, that was great to see.
Good to see. You know who probably is the most excited person out of this victory?
I don't know who.
Tiger Woods. You saw the tweet?
Oh, I did see the tweet. Yeah.
Because Tiger's 46? So let's say we've got a year for him to recover. He'll be 47. That's 3 years. That's 3 years of majors that Tiger thinks he now, and I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying that's 3 years of majors that Tiger now is like, hey, I've got 12 more majors that I can realistically compete in.
Unbelievable. I mean, I'd love to see it. You were talking about the crowds though.
Yeah. Well, I can't believe how many people were out there. So for those of you that didn't know, golf is back full bore. I mean, there was a gallery out there, and that's probably the first real gallery that we've seen, since things shut down last year. But yeah, I was, I mean, I kind of like seeing it. I don't know. Some of those people out there yelling some jackass things. It's kind of like, number one, I'm like, I don't even know what that means. And number two, well, let me think about it. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't even make sense.
I could only have thought about what you were going to tell Phil if he would have hit the ball near you where it like got picked up and put back down or whatever. Everybody had to have their one-liner there. Everybody
you know what it is? It's like, Phil, I'm good at 3 things: playing golf, talking golf.
Give him his own line back.
It's like, well, what's the third one? What's the third one? It's like, aha.
Man,
I'm thinking we got Phil and Smoltzy. I'm feeling like Smoltz called him and said, hey buddy, I'm your guy for the next match.
Absolutely.
I am your guy.
Phil and Smoltz versus Peyton and Romo or something like that. Yeah.
I'm thinking you get Brooks back out there. I don't know. You think Brooks is got Brooksy and MJ. I don't know. That's probably a bad setup. I don't know if Phil would take that bet. Because MJ is going to be asking for strokes out there. So I don't know if he's going to go for that one or not.
Saw the PGA posted this, though. Think about this. Phil, oldest golfer to become a major champion. Tom Brady, a couple months ago, oldest quarterback to become a champion.
Ooh.
And guess who played together in the match? Pretty interesting, right? Yeah.
I mean, it's is Vince McMahon, is he on the board of directors for the PGA?
Nice.
I mean, these storylines are playing out just too damn good, man.
U.S. Open, hot the press here. This is a joke. You hot the press here. U.S. Open grants an exemption to Nick Faldo.
Hey, you never know. Hey, and guess who he's going to be paired with? He's definitely turning that one down. Hold on. So, all right. So I'm gonna bounce for a minute. I'm gonna bounce to somebody else that you were dogging him out. You dogged him out so hard on the pod.
No, I didn't.
So hard on the pod.
It was just trying. It was like in that TV show, the Karate Kid one on Netflix. What they're called, Cobra Kai. It was like I was lighting the fire under the kid's shoe, trying to get him going. I was just trying to light some fire for him. That's it. That's it.
Well, it worked. And
it did work.
And as we discussed, if the wind really does pick up and the weather gets kind of nasty, this could work out in Ricky Fowler's favor, and it did. Congratulations, Ricky Fowler. You made good use of your player's exemption for the PGA Championship.
100%, yeah.
Coming in at T8. So I was very happy to see that. So here's what I was thinking as they were playing. We made the cut playing on Saturday, and it's like, man, I bet Ricky is so pumped. I bet he is so stoked that he's made the cut. He's made good use of that exemption. All of those naysayers like Dan, he's sticking it to the man. He's like, hey, I'm in here, made the cut line. And then on Sunday, another Christmas miracle happens. He gets paired with his BFF.
He does. It's almost like they rolled out the orange carpet for him.
Well, he rolled the orange shirt out for Phil. Definitely. There were tears and there was There was ass grabbing going. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff happening on that 18th tee. It couldn't have been happier. I mean, yeah, but so do you think Ricky was more excited that Phil won the championship or that he got to play with his BFF at the championship on Sunday?
Oh, he was 100% that Phil won because he sees himself, I guess, just based off the hug that he and Phil had. It was like, these are the commercial guys that are growing the game. It's Fowler, it's Phil, it's that Arnold Palmer legacy. Like, he sees himself in that camp. He doesn't have the victory to support it, but he sees himself in that camp. That's what I got out of that for sure. Yeah.
Looked like, and I mean, and Spieth actually, Fowler played really good, so it'll be interesting to see where we get to over the weekend.
Fowler played really good. He needs to do more thumbs up though, just like Phil.
Half thumbs. If you do a half thumb, your thumb doesn't get so tired by the end of the match. Half thumb. Let's see.
You got to touch on Louis O, man. Come on, that guy. He played good.
Louis O played good. That dude's getting ready to pop. I've got a feeling, and I won't say that I don't think he looked labored out there at all. I think he looked really good out there, man. 71, 68, 72, 73, which there were plenty of people that struggled on, over just the course of the week at the Ocean Course. But yeah, I'm not surprised to see him at T2.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
He always plays well in the majors. And I thought he could have made a real run at it on Sunday. Now, I'll tell you that if I'm looking at this leaderboard, I don't remember seeing half of these guys take a shot on the CBS broadcast. I don't know how they're in the top 10 because Big Beautiful. Did we watch any Big Beautiful on Sunday?
Oh, well, like I said, it's like, hey, guys, catch him on 18 when he's walking off the green. Catch him on 18. No, they were too busy showing Spieth shoot, I don't know, like 4 over or something. So they're like, hold on, where's the Spieth cam? It's like, we need 2 cameras, guys. We need a Spieth cam, and then we need a camera for everybody else.
Yeah. Big Beautiful, T4. That's his best major performance, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Holy cow. Yeah.
And I'll say a strong Sunday for what was out there. I mean, he shot a 70. So, I mean, he made, he gained all this ground on Sunday, but yeah, he looked good out there. Hands in the air. I wish he'd start popping that collar. She'd start popping that collar, though. Popping that collar. She'd start popping it. That would really get me going.
Tequila Man did well. My gosh, he had a day. We didn't see any of that.
65. Yeah, it's like, hey, don't show. And I believe that was the low round of the tournament. It's like, hey, do not get any footage of low round of the tournament because Spieth is definitely not getting anywhere close to that. We don't want to downplay Spieth. And by the way, we are Spieth fans. We're also Tequila Man fans too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm trying to convince Dan to be a Ricky Fowler fan, but he said orange really isn't his color.
I am a Ricky Fowler fan. I am. I want to see him do well. I actually think this, you and I were talking is like over the last year, it's, Rory's coming in hot in 2020. And then, with the comeback and starting at Colonial, he started to do the non-hot. And you saw DJ was coming in non-hot, and then DJ gets hot, and then Bryson got hot, in the fall going into the spring of this year. And it's just, all these guys with their ups and downs or whatnot. I think it could be Ricky's time now where we might see him start to get back in form.
It's very possible. Speaking of, you brought DJ up. I'm glad you did that. I can blame you for this. So who are you most surprised that didn't make the cut?
Yeah, DJ's got to be. He's a South Carolina guy, right? So it's right there in his home state.
Home state.
Yeah.
Home state. Now, when everybody's speculating, is there something wrong with him? Is he got an injury or something? What's going on there? I was surprised to see JT miss the cut. Xander, I was pretty high on him. I thought he was going to make it.
Those 3 guys are big misses. All 3 of those guys are huge misses. Yeah.
Let's see. I think he didn't make it. Bubba Watson, he made the cut, but he finishes at 14 over.
Bubba Watson did not make the cut.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Well, I just saw his name here.
No, he finished 80th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just scrolling through here.
He shot plus 14, so that's probably why you think he didn't make the cut.
No, there you go.
It was pretty much like not making the cut. Yeah, I don't know if any. I mean, as far as surprise goes, I don't know if I'm really surprised. Charles Schwartzel has been playing really well. He didn't make it. But I mean, the course was playing tough, right? So Kevin Na and
Leishman was a big pick for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. But
well, I was surprised. So we talk about our one and dones. You picked Cam Smith. I picked Rory.
Oof.
And when I was looking for Rory, I was like, okay, just give me a top 10 for the one and done. That's all I'm looking at of him. I didn't think he was going to win again, but I was like, okay, he's probably going to be a top 10 guy because Rory's historically is like huge on top 10s and majors or whatnot. So I was like, okay, I'll pick this guy considering what he did last time he was here and the fact that he just won Wells. I'm like, he's in good form. He knows this place is going to do well. And oh my gosh. So I texted you after the first tee shot on Thursday. I said, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
No, I said I texted you back and I said both of our one and dones are not going to make the cut.
Gosh. And they did, but they didn't do well.
Yeah.
So it seemed like with Rory, and I didn't get a good analogy on this, but with Rory with 10, it was like we were looking at 10. It wasn't like a peaceful hole, but holy cow, he must have saw like demons and all kinds of stuff in 10 because he could not tee off on 10 the entire week.
I think it was more like, how can I throw this tournament and get back home to the family without it looking like I'm throwing the tournament?
It's a good point. All right. I'm going to ask you a question real quick and we'll get back to some players. What was your favorite, let's call it the pip backfire of the week, AKA EVR breaking or demolishing the T marker, or was it Rom crushing a mic, or was it Stenson breaking a club? What was your favorite pip backfire?
Wow, you say backfire. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking.
Well, it's like they're going to get attention, but it really wasn't the attention of the player improvement program.
I know. Where's Vince McMahon? I want to ask him which one he set up. It's got to be Van Rooyen because it wasn't he almost took the guy's head off.
The caddy, yeah.
Yeah, almost took his head off. I mean, that's got to be because at that point you put people's lives in danger. So for me, that was the one that's kind of like, hey man, like you took it a little too far there, buddy.
Rom crushed that mic. He crushed the mic right after the tee shot.
And probably got some fines going on. They'll need that pip to pay for those fines.
Exactly. It's a fine fund.
Exactly. They're funding the PIP.
That's a good one. That one.
It's like we're gonna take all the fines and we're gonna fund the PIP. So I don't know. Let's see. Stuart Sink, he's still coming on kind of strong. Finished T30. Corey Connors.
Finau, man, that was a silent T8, man. I don't think I ever saw Finau the whole time.
Keegan Bradley came out, would shoot 69. It kind of shit the bed on Friday, but then shoots level par for the tournament.
Good, he's playing good. Yep.
Yeah, lots of folks that
Connors was your first round leader. I thought he had a chance to really do something here, because he's been striking the ball so great, but he just couldn't keep it together.
Yeah, Friday got a hold of him.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Good enough, man. Congrats to Phil. And we're heading to Hogan's Alley.
Oh, yeah. So we got some guys that are playing again this week or whatnot. Phil's playing again this week. Can you believe that?
See, here's what I know. He says he confirmed it. It wouldn't surprise me if Phil doesn't have a late WD.
I don't know.
Let me. Hey, Phil, if you're listening, take a page out of Lee Westwood's book. You're 50, and you just. That may be the most pressure he's played under in quite some time. Both one, I got to win the tournament. Two, I got to make sure Brooks Koepka doesn't beat me up. I don't know. I mean, is it in Phil's best interest to play here? I think he won the tournament in 2010, I believe. So, maybe.
He's all tied up with Brooks now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 2-2.
Yeah. So maybe it's one of those, he's hot, he's on a roll, and hey, man, if he's feeling good, he's feeling good. So who else is showing up this week?
I saw his sister tweet that they were having a family dinner a couple of weeks ago. And Phil said that his game was getting in form and that he felt really good. And then his brother piped up after that and said, yeah, Phil was playing really good. Some of the best golf he's played in a while. And Phil said, I feel a victory coming on very soon. And this was at dinner a couple of weeks ago. This is according to his sister, which I believe. And it's like,
Yeah.
I do believe he's been working really hard on this stuff. I mean, we saw him all winter with on Twitter with his speed drills and everything else. And it used to be bombs, 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 bombs. They were controlled, right? I mean, this is a different Phil. If you get a Phil that's got a controlled driver, is that kind of short game and putting? I mean, he could be dangerous. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? What do you see for Phil for the rest of the year? Is this a one-time thing, or is you think he's got something that's pretty?
I think we'll see. I don't. When I say contention, I don't know if we'll see him in contention for the win, but I definitely see. I definitely see him making cuts. If he plays with the mindset that he played, he's doing his yoga now. He's meditating. You saw him behind the glasses. He's got his eyes closed. You know, he's kind of seeing his way. So, I mean, if he's going to approach, I don't know what that does to you. I don't. That's not the way I play golf. It's like I play with a 12 pack and, sometimes I do play with my eyes shut, but that's not the reason. I'm not doing it because I'm meditating, but I mean, if he's going to play like that, well, we're going to be at Torrey Pines for the US Open right in his backyard. So maybe, I mean, the man may be inspired. I mean, he's got the game. I think the course definitely played to his favor in the sense that, I mean, it beat a lot of people up, right? I mean, Phil's last major championship was the 2013 British Open. So, I mean, clearly he likes that link style, windy, type setup. So it does play to his favor. I think that when we get to some of these other courses, is it going to play a little bit different? I mean, Colonial this week. So he's won there before.
Mm-hmm.
This is I don't want to say it's a dated course, but it is definitely one back in the archives. I think it's I think it is the oldest course that they play on tour in the US.
Besides Augusta.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Besides Augusta. Glad you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think that it's, I think we've got some more Phil and some top tens or better. I can see that happening.
Do you think he's a Rolex ambassador? Do you think they were mad at him for wearing a vintage Cellini instead of wearing like one of the ones that's like he sports the Yachtmaster rose gold on the Oyster Flex bracelet, and not bracelet, but Oyster Flex strap and whatnot. He's wearing the vintage one out there, and obviously he wears this one quite a bit. Do you think that maybe they wanted him to wear like a Daytona or something that's new? You can't necessarily get it, but anyway,
he's drinking $40,000 bottles of wine out of the cup. Do you think he cares?
I'm just talking about Rolex. You think they're like, hey, come on, Phil, put something on that people can actually go in the store and buy.
They don't even know what that is. They can't even recognize it on your arm over there.
So we had a lot of fun with Phil over the last year. We got something coming out later this week in terms of PGA Jeopardy. We're going to release on YouTube, and we might release it. We might release it on the pod. I'm not sure whatnot. But we got a little contest with PGA Tour Jeopardy of who would be a good guest host for Jeopardy.
Could be a front runner by now.
He could be a front runner by now. And I also will tell you that over the weekend, it's funny because we had a lot of fun with Phil because last year after the match, he's lost all this weight. He's sporting sunglasses. He's got a coffee company. He's doing trademarks on coffee. He's got new pants. He's got the new, like I said, the new Yachtmaster on the Oyster Flex. He's got all this stuff. And it's like, is he going through a midlife crisis? Right? We did that.
Oh, he's
a year ago.
And he's moving to Florida.
And he's moving to Florida. So you can go compete over at Slaughterhouse 23 with MJ.
Well, would you say compete? Do you mean like make donations?
Donations. Yes, donations. But we did that like a year ago. We did this thing, and all of a sudden we started getting comments last weekend about like, there's no midlife crisis, no midlife crisis. I'm like, oh, okay. This was a year ago, guys. Okay. All right.
So just to answer the question, yes, last year he was going through a midlife crisis. Apparently his yogi has got him tuned in, and the midlife crisis is over. He's now moving into the next chapter of his life.
Well, so what's so interesting though, like, is Phil the yin yang of what Bryson's doing?
I mean, that's an interesting take on it. Well, I think that it possibly, because I think he has to do it differently than Bryson's doing it, right? So Bryson's young enough that he can kind of go through these developmental stages. I'm sure that when we get Tattersall on, we'll have to talk about what was Phil doing 30 years ago to improve distance, and those kind of things. But I think it goes back to, I mean, look at Phil, and he's always had a good short game. Phil, when he's been hot, he's always putted really well. I mean, I guess you could say that for anybody that's winning, they've got to putt good. But you see Bryson working on distance. And if he's got a weak spot in his game, it's back to his short game. Yeah. And I think that that's something that Phil had. Now, I won't say naturally that he had the distance. I mean, that comes with technique. And again, swing speed is a direct correlation to distance there. But it's something that, I mean, he's always been a bomber. And, with the past 2 or 3 years, I mean, you've heard Phil talking about hitting bombs, and hitting more bombs. And, now he's kind of finessing it into, I think he has kind of found that happy place where it's kind of working out now. And do you have to hit bombs if you're playing, your approach shots, in the sense that he's playing them?
We talked to Tattersall quite a bit about Bryson and his transformation and the weight gain. And then Phil was losing weight and everything. But I think I'm gonna go back and try and find the clip, and I'll post it to the social and to YouTube. But I think we talked to Tattersall. Was it Tattersall we talked to about Phil as well? And the jumping backwards when he's swinging. Because you heard Dottie on Sunday say, "Oh, I guess the balance isn't so important." And he's like, "Well, it was late in the round," and he had fell to the right or whatever, to the left, whatever it was, when he did his tee shot. We talked to Tattersall about what he was doing there, and it doesn't matter where you're doing, because the forces of what he's doing when he's actually jumping backwards when he's swinging, and he's not going to be able to go backwards because of the swing going forward or whatnot. I think we talked to Tattersall about that.
Yeah,
right?
he was talking about building that, about pushing off the ground, right? About pushing off and building, kind of generating that momentum, right, for that force through. But yeah, I don't know. It's shit, I guess everybody else will be playing him going forward. So there you go. Phil just became chalk in all DraftKings lineup moving forward.
I'm going to put him down for your one and done for the US Open, where he said he doesn't need an exemption. He doesn't need it. No, thanks, guys. I'm good. Good.
And he didn't.
He didn't. Give it to Ricky.
Well, so speaking of, are you surprised that so I'm fast forwarding on us a bit here. So you got JT, Jordan Spieth, Patrick Reed, Morikawa, defending champion Daniel Berger, and I'm scrolling through these names here, and guess who doesn't have a ticket yet to the US Open? And guess whose name I don't see in the field for Colonial?
Yeah, it's surprising to me. I thought that after that kind of finish last week, you'd see him in there this week. I know he played last week as well, right? But I don't think he made the cut.
He didn't.
So, when you got that, I mean, I'm going to be honest here, and I don't want this to come across as like like that mean. But when you're doing his calendar, you're counting to play through the weekend or whatnot. But he records so much in the off weeks, right? It's like 28 days a year. He said in an article in Golf Digest or something that there was 28 days a year. So if he doesn't make the cut, I guess it's just free time, but maybe he doesn't have the opening in his calendar to be able to go play this week, but he should likely be playing this week considering he didn't play the full 4 rounds last week.
You think?
Yeah.
I'd get that schedule too. Hey, ask for Stuart Sink's calendar.
Yeah. Just copy it.
Copy and paste. Copy and paste. They'll invite you. Trust me.
Well, that's a good wrap on the PGA Championship. I thought was outstanding.
Yes.
And what a year it's been, right? You had Colin Morikawa, last PGA Championship in, was it August or something like that? Puts him on the map. TPC, then you got
Harding Park, yeah.
Then you got was it the next one was Bryson at the US Open?
Yeah.
Huge. Then you got DJ
at the Masters.
Then Hideki.
And then Hideki at the Masters. How weird is that to say the Masters and then the Masters? That's kind of funny. But brings us to we are showing up in Texas at the restart of golf in 2020. I mean, we've made it back. I don't want to say that it's a little deflated, but let's just say there are not as many people as anxious to get back out on course as there was in 2020.
I'm going to give you a half a thumb. I'm going to say, hold that thought, guys. We will be right back with our fantasy picks and predictions for Colonial. Cheers. All right. Let me pause this, stop this.